will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Game time better come correct. Game playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. 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 Game time better come correct. Game playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Game time better come correct. Game playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Game time better come correct. Game playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Game time better come correct. Game playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Don't involve money, then I don't accept. Don't involve money that I don't accept.
250 miles of racing for charity at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tristan Bailey and Kyle Benson lead on the front row with Seth Berger and Vincent Cortez. In row number 2, Colin Forrester and John Honeycutt in that third row, position 5 and 6. Armani Williams and Donald Ray in that fourth row, 7 and 8. Jonathan Cuevas and then Tyler DeTalante in that fifth row, rounding out that top 10, getting ready to go racing. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rick James, and this is going to be a fun event tonight, benefiting everybody at TJ's team and everyone at morethanAcape.org, helping in the fight against pediatric cancer. We're going to have a PayPal link for you later, but for now, Tristan Bailey, Kyle Benson on the front row, about to turn these race cars loose in this first 40-lap stage. Welcome to the TJ's Team 250. Green flag is out at Atlanta. Tristan Bailey comfortably leading lap 1 with Seth Berger in second. Kyle Benson side by side in that third position, wide off that second corner. Driver trying to get just a bit more advantage off that high line. There's one car way loose on the top. It's not Tyler DeTalante, I believe. That's going to be the 86 of Jonathan Cuevas being scored as the 39. Error there in paint schemes, but ignore the 39 on the side of the car. That car's number tonight is 8-6, and the 8-6 has another driver error just getting around him. Armani Williams in the 1-7 car. Again, car says 19, but he's scored as the 17, so that's a driver paint scheme error, but Williams has the 11th position, and behind him in that 1-3, correctly scored and numbered, Chris Hacker has the fastest lap of the race with a 31:54. At the front, it still remains Tristan Bailey down, completing lap number 3 with Kyle Benson in second, John Honeycutt side by side. There's Honeycutt being scored in that third position. He's now got Seth Berger, who is inside. Colin Forrester and Donald Ray sit behind, eagerly awaiting their chance to pounce. So far, Honeycutt has a tight hold onto that third position, but Kyle Benson starting to creep up to the back end of Tristan Bailey. Let's ride around Benson and get a feel for a lap around Atlanta. Benson now to the back end of Tristan Bailey, looking for the lead in that number 10 Teamer Designs Chevrolet Camaro. Behind the back end of that number 88, Tyler DeTalante in that 4th position, rocking the number 37 TJ's Team Foundation Supra. All over the back end of Seth Berger in that, ahead of Seth Berger into the Berg Arts Camaro. You can see he's got a little bit of damage. And on his outside, Colin Forrester, another driver error in that 8 car, being scored as the 9 in the True Pros Camaro. 4 Chevys and a Toyota in the top 5. Tyler DeTalante makes it into that 4th position. He's already up 7 spots from where he started. John Honeycutt up 2 spots from where he started. Further on back, Texas, Donald Ray in that snap-on 2.5 Mustang to the outside of Seth Berger. This the battle for the 6th position. Ray just on the outside. He's holding on to that position. Can he make it stick into 1? He will. Donald Ray to the 6th position. The starting grid just recently followed. Hello, starting grid. Welcome to Rick James TV. You haven't missed much. We're only 8 laps into this TJ's Team 250. Tristan Bailey leads the way. And the number 17 of Armani Williams almost getting into the wall there. The red number 19 Interstate Battery Supra liveried car. Now behind that 8-6. Again, car being scored as the 8-6, even though it says 3-9. Jonathan Cuevas on the back end of the top 10. Seth Berger now to his inside, trying to get that spot. But Berger has been slipping back since we started this race. He's already down 6 places from where he started. With Armani Williams threatening to knock him out of the top 10, Berger has a lot of work to do. 3 wide out of that fourth corner as Jonathan Cuevas almost gets up into the wall. He's going to give up the spot to Armani Williams and Seth Berger. Behind him now, Tyler Murray in the number 16 TJ's Team Chevrolet. To his inside, Chris Bishop looks forward in that number 42 Chevrolet. Bishop sitting 13th ahead of Matt Hall in that number 34 iRacing Supra. The lone Canadian from Parkinham, Ontario, now rocking that 14th spot, looking to get to lucky number 13. Bishop sits ahead. Chris Hacker in the number 13 Toyota Supra trying to get through. And then you've got Tom Sears and Dylan Freibel side by side. The number 19 of Sears, a regular to ARCS, and a bit of ENEA console racing as well, and Sears gets plowed into by the 20 of Dylan Freibel. What in the world is Freibel thinking at that moment? Just turns left into Tom Sears. The number 19 Interstate Batteries Supra crashed into, left alone, and no manual cautions will be scored in this race, only stage brakes. So Sears just left wanting on the inside of turn number 3. Let's see what in the world possessed Dylan Freibel to just hook left on the Massachusetts pilot. Freibel just gets into the wall of his own will, slams into the 19, and Freibel comes away virtually undamaged. Let's have one more look. Freibel does enter the pits, but it does not change what happened at all. Keep your eye on the hands of Dylan Freibel. He's just going to shoot to the left out of 2. Not sure what in the world happened. TG Blasty following. Also got to say, High Octane Autosports followed today. Also, Detalente 29 following as well. Suave 555 in the chat says, hey Rick, what's going on, Suave? One more time. Dylan Freibel, let's see if there's any contact to this 20 car, but he just seemingly shoots off to the right-hand side. Nothing there. Shoots off to the right-hand side and just instantly wrecks into the 19 of Tom Sears. Unwarranted. Freibel sitting in 22nd, Tom Sears in 23rd, getting his repairs. Drivers only get one fast repair this afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. There go the leaders, Tristan Bailey and Kyle Benson, now fighting each other for that top spot. And again, your stage breaks will be lap 40, lap 80, and of course, race end at lap 163. Bailey still leading Kyle Benson. Benson has been more than happy to ride around behind the 8-8 of Bailey. Colin Forrester being scored as the 9, but mistakenly rocking the number 8 tonight in that 3rd position, now catching up to the top 3. Perhaps Kyle Benson resting a bit on his laurels as he's let the competition creep right back up. If Benson doesn't get a move on sooner rather than later, he'll be swallowed by Forrester before he knows it. Further on back, tight battle. Armani Williams in the incorrectly numbered 19 car. Matthew Hall to the inside, almost getting shoved, now being avoided by Williams and No in that number 6. Let's have a look and see how Matt Hall just barely survived this. Out of 2 was the accident. This is the replay headed into 1. There goes Tom Sears exiting pit road. Armani Williams just loose out of turn number 2. That's the 2nd time that Williams wrangles that uncontrolled Interstate Battery Supra out of the corner. One more look to Matthew Hall, because the way that Hall saved this race car is unbelievable. Keep your eye on those hands. Smooth, does not overreact, keeps it in one piece, and the Canadian keeps on ticking. Matt Hall, all the way from Parkinham in Ontario, sitting in the 14th position, now working on Armani Williams once again. Does Hall have a chance to get around the 17 as he's being scored? Mostly incident-free. Further up ahead, Jesse Adams in the 5-6, battling with the 8-6 of Jonathan Cuevas. Cuevas mistakenly running that number 39 CMR livery next to Jeff No. Jesse Adams on the back end of the top 10. Cuevas and No rocking that Chevy and Ford in 11th and 12th, respectively. No looking to the inside. Further on up, a side-by-side battle between John Honeycutt and Vincent Cortez as we've reached the halfway mark in this first stage. Honeycutt rocking the high side. Cortez to the inside. Both of these drivers catching up to the 8 of Colin Forrester, who's weaving down the racetrack, chasing down Kyle Benson. Tristan Bailey opens a 1-second lead. Forrester just bounces a couple of wheels off that inside line. Still stuck to the inside of Kyle Benson. This the battle for the second position. Riding along now with Forrester. Lucky Beanie Bro in the chat says, go number 56, go Adams. Cheering for that number 56 of Jesse Adams in that 11th position on the outside of Jeff No, trying to break into the top 10. Adams doing a successful job so far, keeping that car in one piece. Terry in the chat saying he'd stop in and show some love. All the love to you, Terry. Unfortunately, the Titans didn't go as far as we would have expected. But that's all right. We'll try next year, buddy. Send my love to Mama Vols. I love you. I love her. I love the whole family, buddy. Hope you're staying safe with the difficult weather half the nation's getting. Suave 555 just got in the chat. He came in just a little bit ago saying hello to Cape. And then High Octane Autosport says number 37, Tyler Detalente, drop the hammer. And let's catch up with the number 37. Now in that 10th position on the outside of car number 19, Tom Sears. Sears being scored in that 22nd position after being taken out by Dylan Freibel in that 20 car. Again, no idea what possessed that 20 to just turn all the way to the right-hand side. Take one more look, just if anybody has any sort of imagination, find out what happened with this 20 car. There he is just peeling up against the right-hand wall. And take a look at the hands, because it doesn't appear that Freibel's turning to the right. No contact from any car. Freibel just goes way to the right and plows into that 1-9. But as it is, Freibel sitting in 23rd. Tom Sears in the 22nd position. 4 laps off the pace. Sears now to the inside of his good friend Donald Ray. Both of those ARCS competitors. Tom Sears getting that pit stop at lap 21. Donald Ray being scored in the 8th position. The Texas native right now finds himself 2 seconds behind Paul Bergoli in the number 12 Axalta Chevrolet. High Octane Autosport saying, is it DeTalent? Pronounce that for me, would you? Because I hate getting the names wrong. It's super important that they get represented properly. Colin Forrester wants to represent himself in the top 3. He's now on the inside of John Honeycutt. Despite rocking the incorrect paint scheme there, he's still keeping that car mostly undamaged, but he gives up a lot of ground there. And you saw he gave up 4th place to Vincent Cortez in that unsponsored number 23. High Octane Autosport says it is DeTalent. Now, is it D-Talent or like short E, Day Talent? Help me out here. And I'm sure that's wicked important to him. Jesse Adams losing that 10th spot to Tyler D. We'll say for now. So it is DeTalent. We'll leave Tyler alone right now. Tyler now giving up the spot to Adams as Tyler on his way in. Very slow through that 3rd corner. Not sure if he just missed the trajectory Suave 555 saying he might make an iRacing comeback after eye surgery. That's something to look forward to as well. Suave, a big loved member of the community. It would be so great to have him back. Tristan Bailey leading by 1.5 seconds. Meanwhile, 0.2 is all that separates Kyle Benson and John Honeycutt. Over the last 5 laps, John Honeycutt has been flying through. You can see he's so much faster than Benson, now moving to that inside. If you look at Benson's last 5 lap times, we can see he's been inconsistently quicker than Tristan Bailey, but Honeycutt just getting faster and faster against Kyle Benson, so not a lot of places for Kyle Benson to go. He's got to find some place where he can gain time on John Honeycutt. Jeff No, now a 1/4 second behind Donald Ray. These two cars fighting it out for the 8th position. No catching up to Ray, and he's going to plan an attack on the outside, possibly the inside. There goes Jeff No on that number 6 to the inside of Ray in his snap-on Ford. Forrester now just ahead of Seth Berger. Berger looking to the inside of Colin Forrester, who's got that bent-in back end out of that 4th corner. There goes that 7-7 looking to the inside of Forrester. He gets cut off out of the 4th corner. He'll have to attempt one more time into turn 1. He's got that inside line. Does he have the advantage out of 2? Forrester will have the momentum out of the corner into 3. Berger on the outside now of Forrester. Forrester has a whiff of the draft from 4th place Vincent Cortez. These two continue to fight. Further on, Glenn Lauzon in that number 7, rocking that number 7 Discount Tire Ford. He's up 9 places from where he started, getting around the incorrectly liveried Jonathan Cuevas into that 3-9 being scored as the 86. Matt Hall is next to come up on Cuevas, and it looks like that's Armani Williams, one of the lap down cars that Matt Hall's about to overtake. Hall sits 15th right now of 24 cars. Jeff No gets around Donald Ray, and he's in 8th. Over the last 5 laps, Jeff No, he's been slower than Paul Bergoli, and Paul Bergoli starting to pull away. 4 seconds is the gap between Bergoli and No. If we look at the gap between Paul Bergoli and Colin Forrester, up ahead in 6th. You can see Forrester quicker last time by 0.2 seconds. Forrester using the draft of Seth Berger to stay relevant in the fight for the top 5. Now they're all starting to get bundled up here. John Honeycutt in 2nd to the outside of Kyle Benson. Vincent Cortez watching through, and there's the contact there. Saver Kyle. Kyle Benson loose on that inside line. Still sideways. Still Tokyo drifting around that 2nd corner. Keep it. Hold on to her, Kyle. One more time, Kyle Benson keeps that car in a straight line. Still dancing like Ayrton Senna into the 3rd corner. He's got it under him now. Kyle M. Benson with the save of the century. Keeps that number 10 Camaro from wrecking. What a move. Beautifully done by Kyle Benson. We'll go back to this. Before we cut back to that replay, this is looking even more dangerous. To quote my broadcasting partner, repeat 1975, it is a hornet's nest. Sanity prevails. Single file, they go. Vincent Cortez in the 2nd place Ford Mustang with Seth Berger behind him in the Bergarts number 77 Camaro. Tom Sears currently running 4 laps down in the number 19 Interstate Batteries Supra, just trying to get some time back. We've got 200 bits in the chat from Suave 555. Appreciate you, Rico. Love you, buddy. Send my love to your family. Seth Berger on the inside of Vincent Cortez, side by side into 3. Berger with the momentum. Cortez with the speed out of 4, but it's not even going to be close. Berger easily eats up Cortez for 2nd place. Tristan Bailey, the race leader, has a 2.7 second advantage. Stage 1 coming to a close, and if you've just recently tuned in, I'm Rick James. This is the TJ's Team 250. Everybody here benefiting all the folks at morethanAcape.org in their fight to help cure pediatric cancer. We all take it one day at a time, and that's what we're all here for. But of course, the championship belt on the line. We're not here just for fun. Come on, we're here to compete. Jay Joyce, 85, following. Welcome, Jay Joyce. Let's not forget about morethanAcape.org, the whole reason we're here. Head on over to that website, learn about TJ, learn about his struggles and how we continue to fight for children with pediatric cancer each and every single day. At the end of stage number 1, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for second stage racing. 2 laps to go in this opening stanza. Tristan Bailey leading Seth Berger by 2.4 seconds. Berger running away with the silver medal spot. Vincent Cortez 7/10 behind. John Honeycutt running fourth in that number 50. He's got Tom Sears behind him, not fighting for position. It's Colin Forrester, who's his next positional rival in that 5th position. Kyle Benson behind Forrester by 2.6 seconds, but Benson with an unbelievably good save. It's amazing the way he kept that car pointed in a straight line. White flag is out. Tristan Bailey has the stage 1 win. All sewn up if he can keep that car pointed in the right direction. Seth Berger sits in second. Vincent Cortez only has third by 2/10 over John Honeycutt, and the yellow flag is out to signify the end of stage number 1. So Tristan Bailey is your stage winner. Seth Berger second. Vincent Cortez in third. We'll be back in 2 minutes for 40 more laps of racing, another stage break, and then that final 80-lap stanza. This is the TJ's Team 250 on Rick James TV. back from virtual Atlanta, looking at your Stage 1 winner, Tristan Bailey. Let's see if we can bother him for a word. Let's see if he's available at all, and he's actually not. That's perfectly okay. No big deal. I'll tell you what, we'll go to Matthew Hall in that 34 just to see how he's enjoying his race so far. Matt Hall, Rick James in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yo, what's up?
Matt, how are you enjoying the race so far, man? It's been not difficult, but more than easy with drivers trying to figure out their line.
Yeah, it's tire wear is absolutely terrible. So I'm still relatively new to this, so I'm just still trying to learn how to save tire and not be in people's way. I've smacked the wall a couple times, but it's all right. We're good.
We saw you with that incredible save after that big shunt from Armani Williams out of turn number 2. You managed to keep it on the straight and narrow. You're going to be starting this second 40 laps in the top 15 as you finished. What'd you learn from that first stage about tire wear, and how are you going to apply this to make sure you get up to the front?
Just continue to take it easy and just, not try to stay off the wall and not get tight on the bottom. So, I run the top a lot, and it kind of works. So, I don't know. I'm just out here to have fun. So.
That's all that matters.
We'll see what happens.
That's all that matters. We're out here to have fun. We're out here to support charity and help those kids with pediatric cancer. As the lone Canadian in the field, is there anything that any little bit of national pride that you feel just trying to beat all these Americans?
Sorry, what was that? I heard there's people in the ear.
I said as the lone Canadian in the field, do you get some sense of pride beating all these Americans?
I try. So it's just said I'm out here just to have some fun. And,
absolutely.
I guess, and I got my country on my trunk here, so that was said. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, buddy. Most important question, and then we'll leave you alone, Matt. What is your favorite kind of soda? Pepsi. That's a good answer. I like Pepsi myself, a little bit sweeter. Anyway, buddy, we'll let you get back to work. Keep the shiny side up.
All right, thank you.
Good to have a sense of humor. I do love talking to these guys, especially in the middle of this race. Poke a little fun at them. Brings a little bit of fun. Before we get back to action. So the lights are still on atop the pace truck. Seth Berger's going to be on the outside of Tristan Bailey in row number 1. If you've never seen a race on iRacing, if you've never seen a race at Atlanta Motor Speedway, this 1.5 mile racetrack was not always this shape. It was for the most part, symmetrical oval up until about 1996, 1997, when they reconfigured it to this D-oval shape. They added that road course on the inside as well. What used to be the front straight is now the back straight. And since that reconfiguration, they've had one more facelift done to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. They almost took one racing lane out of it, if you will. Added progressive banking, and coming up spring 2022, it's going to be an entirely different ballgame. I can't wait for that one. So the lights finally turn off atop the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Tristan Bailey and Seth Berger will be on the front row for this restart. Vincent Cortez and John Honeycutt starting 3rd and 4th. Colin Forrester and Paul Brigoli starting in that 3rd row. Brigoli on the outside in that number 12, ahead of Texas Donald Ray to the outside of Jeff Noe, who's our biggest mover so far, up 11 places from where he started one stage ago. Tyler DeTalent in the number 37, TJ's Team Supra. He's on the outside of row number 5 with Jesse Adams. We just spoke to Matthew Hall, who's going to be on the outside of row number 7. He's sharing the line with number 17, looks like the number 10 of Kyle Benson. Armani Williams in the incorrectly painted number 19 Interstate Battery Supra starting 15th. Joe McAdory rounding out the top 20 in his number 8. Tristan Bailey and Seth Berger on the front row. As Q-Dogs is in the chat and he says, "What's up? What's going on, Q? Glad to have you here. You tuned in just in time for stage 2. Tristan Bailey and Seth Berger on the front row. Green flag is out at Hotlanta." Tristan Bailey leading that first lap. Seth Berger in that second position. Vincent Cortez and the incorrectly painted Colin Forrester sitting third in that number 8 True Pros Chevrolet. Cortez back to that fourth position with Paul Bergoli in that 5th spot. John Honeycutt rolling in the 6th position where he started. No picks up one more spot as Enrique Quiñones, aka Q-Dogs, in the chat cheers 6 bits for his buddy Jeff No. Donald Ray right behind him in 8th. Tyler DeTalent in 9th, and the number 56 of Jesse Adams rounding out the top 10. But looking back a couple of places, Armani Williams had trouble controlling their race car in that first stage, almost getting into the wall a couple of times. Now on the outside of Brandon Richardson in that number 29 caliber Collision Supra. Richardson, the Nashville native, looking to get to the inside of Williams into lucky number 13 spot, and he's got it. Jesse Adams next on the list. One car almost in that outside wall. That's Adams in the 56, who had to go way to the inside. Chris Hacker in that number 13 CRM Supra, keeping his line on the outside. Matt Hall now to the inside of Hacker, this for the 17th position. And Jonathan Cuevas in the mispainted number 39 CMR Chevrolet falls into 19th position. Bailey still in front, but not by much. Colin Forrester has caught him up, and Forrester looks to put his number 9 Chevrolet into first place. It will take patience. It will take... Has Donald Ray gone around? Donald Ray, the Texas pilot, in the number 25 Snap-on Ford down pit road. Something's gone on with Donald Ray. Let's see if we can have a look. This is the lap prior. See if any contact happened to Donald. The 37 of Tyler DeTalent coming up behind the Texan. There you see a couple cars getting squirrely there. Not sure what caused Ray to come down pit road. There he already is entering pit road. If we roll this footage back, he just politely excuses himself off the racetrack. Donald Ray, the Texas native, now being scored 23rd out of 24 cars. He is effectively out of this race. But we'll see if he does return. It's not official just yet. But the 88 and the 9 of Colin Forrester continue to fight hammer and tongs. About another 26 laps remains in this second stage. Tristan Bailey leading the majority of laps today. Has not given a single one up, but for now, Forrester, if he can make it stick, will lead his first laps of the afternoon to the inside line. Bailey has the advantage. Bailey with a blink. Hopefully, the internet holds steady. Jeff No now rocking the inside line, trying to take it away from John Honeycutt. We heard Matt Hall earlier talking about how tires are going to be key. They're going to be paramount, and there's a big crash out of that second corner. It's Armani Williams again. 3, 4, 5 cars involved. Tom Sears collected. The 73 gets taken out. Caution number 2 flies over the racetrack, and a big crash out of the second corner. Once again, Tom Sears, a victim of Armani Williams losing control. It looks like Ryan Huff also got a piece of the action in the Johnny Benson-inspired number 73 Supra. Donald Ray didn't get a piece of that one. Freibel may have also been involved. Freibel almost got Tom Sears, and I'm sorry, I mentioned Armani Williams. It wasn't. It was Dylan Freibel that involved Tom Sears in the first accident. Armani Williams involving Matthew Hall in an incident in Stage 1. And now Armani Williams catching the Interstate Batteries Supra, the other 19 Interstate Batteries Supra in this accident. There you see Jesse Adams got a huge piece of that one as well in the 5-6. Let's go back and see what caused this one to happen. Oh, Tyler Williams going well low down on the 17 of Armani Williams. Tyler Murray, excuse me, going down on Armani Williams way too easily. Let's have a look here. Williams turned all the way to the, Murray is who we're riding along with there. Armani Williams turning all the way to the left. Let's have one more look from Armani's point of view. From Jesse Adams' view. Now Ryan Huff. One more external view. Check out this. Just amazing avoidance. You see Matt Hall. Look at that. Is that the 13 car of Chris Hacker that just got through that? Let's have a look and see how Chris Hacker avoided this one. Just as the window of opportunity was quite literally closing there, and one look for Matthew Hall. Skated through that one professionally. So Matt Hall currently being scored as the leader, and he's earned himself a Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Got to give it up to Matt. That was some very clever maneuvering there. Matt Hall, and also you can't forget about the 13 of Chris Hacker driving through a couple of race cars just to avoid all of that. Chris has also earned himself a Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
So Canadian Matt Hall gets the one to go signal. He's up 17 places from where he started this race. He's got Tristan Bailey to his outside, but his tires are 15 laps older than every last driver behind him. But as the adage goes, cautions breed cautions. We'll see what Matt Hall can get up to in this next half lap. He's going to be leading us to green inside Tristan Bailey, Colin Forrester, and Seth Berger in that second row. Paul Bergoli and Vincent Cortez rounding out 5th and 6th. Fans at home, don't forget to link your Amazon Prime accounts with your Twitch account. Get what's called Prime Gaming and get one free subscription every single month. Why not make that Rick James TV and stay ad-free? Parkenham's Matt Hall leads us to the line. It's Toyota and 3 Chevys behind him. Green is out at Atlanta. Hall's missed it, and there goes the 9 car that gets right into him just off the restart. No caution is out. Tristan Bailey continues with the lead, and they're all funneling out of 2. And there is the yellow flag. Caution number 3 is indeed coming out just as we go to green. Matt Hall gets, I think he spun the tires. Let's go have a look and see what brought out this caution. Just looks like Hall spun the tires there. Nowhere for the incorrectly painted 9 of Colin Forrester to go. And one more look, have a listen to the 34 of Matt Hall. One look from Vincent Cortez. Almost went to the inside lane, but he kept it nice and tight. And for that, Vinny C earns himself a cold trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
So Cortez is going to be in that 4th position there. Tristan Bailey reassumes that lead all too easily. Seth Berger will be on the outside line, and Paul Brigoli will be starting in the 3rd position. Let's see if we can have a word with Seth Berger and see how his race is going so far. Seth Berger, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Seth, you're sitting in that 2nd position now. You've had one of the fastest cars all night in the Burgarts Chevrolet. Tristan Bailey won that 1st stage, but he has proven to be beatable. How are you going to get around the race leader?
Racing the track, man. I'm really trying to focus on just my car, you know. I think the pace will come to me, and that's my whole game plan, just focusing on myself, and the pace will come with it. I can't try to chase too much, or else I'm going to burn the tires off of it.
Matt Hall said the same thing. Matt said that the tires are going to be paramount, and they're going to be key. You get 5 tire changes with that 1 fast repair, and you've still got a little bit of stage 2 and 80 laps of stage 3 to go. Who's going to be your biggest rival in terms of getting that win?
I think Tristan Bailey has proven himself already. I mean, he dominated that 1st stage. Really impressive how he was able to be fast at the start of the run and at the end of the run. I tried being super slow in that 1st stage, and I caught back up to the front, but he was 2 seconds ahead and couldn't catch him. So I think he's going to be a huge challenge. Hopefully Vinny's up here, my teammate, trying to race up front for the win too. I'd have a lot of fun winning this.
Cortez just earned himself a cold trickle move of the race for avoiding that accident on that restart there. Hopefully he can get up and help you, but the most important question of the evening, Seth Berger, what is your favorite soft drink? Your soda, how about that? Your favorite soda?
Soft drink?
I know.
I'm not much of a soda person, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess you can't go wrong with Sprite, so I'll say Sprite, but I don't really drink soda.
You know what? I'll take Sprite. That's the first Coca-Cola product we've had this evening, so I'll go with that. Best of luck, man. Keep the shiny side up.
All right, thank you.
I know I said soft drink. I don't think anybody has said soft drink since like the mid-90s. Proves how old I am. We're going to let Seth get back to work. Tristan as well. We're going to take a 30-second break. and we'll be back with the third restart of the evening. It's 100 laps to go from virtual Atlanta. "15 laps to go in this second stage. Tristan Bailey already won stage 1, looking to get the win in stage 2. Seth Berger on the outside, and green flag is out. Heavy contact, 2 cars sideways and into the wall. Tyler DeTalent's into the wall. There goes Jesse Adams. I think Matt Hall just collected Adams. He's slow, and Hall gets collected by the 7-3 of Ryan Huff. And cautions do indeed breed cautions. That's going to be yellow number 4 out on the racetrack. So where stage number 1 went largely incident-free, stage number 2 has a few cautions to speak of just before the end. Made it a few laps this time. Let's go see what brought out the crash this most recent turnaround. Tyler DeTalent in the 37 just gets into the wall right ahead of Chris Hacker. Absolutely nowhere for Hacker to go. And Matthew Hall just avoided that, I believe that 56 car getting collected by the 7-3, but you can see he's already got damage at that point. Chris Hacker tried everything he could to avoid this one. Let's see how Jesse Adams got involved. Adams couldn't stop, and then the 2-9 of Brandon Richardson, he got off easily. Some of these guys got messed up, but Richardson, he was trying to avoid the car as well, and his Caliber Collision Supra got a piece of the action, as did Matt Hall. One more look. 34 car almost making it. There's the initial scrape with the 5-6 of Adams, and then the 73 gets him just for good measure. So Tristan Bailey still the race leader with Seth Berger in the second position. We're approaching 13 laps to go in this second stage, and it hasn't been a very lucky 13 laps. Mostly everybody 14th on back coming down pit road. And I think everyone's just trying to survive to the end, because after stage 2, it's an 80-lap stage 3. We'll see how that one gets along also. Been a nice race so far. Vincent Cortez is in that third position. Let's see if we can bother Vin and find out how his race is going so far. Vincent Cortez, Rick James up top, you got me?
What's up, man?
Vincent, welcome to the show. Welcome to third place. This is the highest you've been so far, but for the brief moment you had the lead in that first stage, Seth Berger is in that second position, and he said he's been waiting for you to get up there so you all could get around Tristan Bailey. How difficult and how possible is it to get to the lead?
So for the first stage, it's a little bit difficult. I was not expecting the tires to spin that bad. It was a little embarrassing, but it was just about trying to save up and not getting run over for a vehicle behind me. But now that we have a little bit more track position, we're seeing how the starts figured out. Hopefully, we just kind of settle in and get past them. But it's all about a waiting game and hopefully not getting too many cautions.
12 laps to go in this second stage, and then the 80-lap stage 3 to the finish. How are your tires, and can you hold them long enough to get to the end?
I'm personally pretty confident about it. Once again, we can get settled in the groove and hopefully drive away to the front.
Now, what is your favorite kind of soda, Vinny?
Root beer all the way.
Root beer. You know, we've had one Pepsi, one Sprite, one root beer. I'm loving this variety, man. Keep the shiny side up, Vinny. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
Vincent Cortez in the number 23 unsponsored Ford Mustang to the inside of Kyle Benson, who's done just a crackerjack job of holding on to that race car tonight. Behind Benson is the 12 of Paul Brigoli, who's on the outside of Glenn Lautson in that number 7 Discount Tire Ford. Welcome Glenn to the top 10. He's up 14 places from where he started. Chris Bishop rounding out the top 10 in that number 42 Chevrolet. He's sitting to the outside of Jeff Noe in the 9th position. Tom Sears back on the lead lap into the 14th position to the outside of Dylan Freibel, the driver who just, without warning, slammed into the 19, brought out the first yellow of the evening. Rounding out the top 20, Joe McAdory in the hoodless number 8. But to the front, Tristan Bailey gets the green, and we're racing once again. The 10 of Kyle Benson getting loose out of that second corner, trying to stick to the outside of Cortez into turn number 3. It's going to be 10 laps to go in this second stage, and Bailey just pulls away with 0.3 of a second and growing ahead of Berger. Jeff Noe trying to work to the inside line now, but he's pinned on the outside. Colin Forrester holding him there in that incorrectly painted number 9 car. Chris Bishop up ahead in the 42, up 4 places from where he started. Bishop now to the outside of the 9 car, Colin Forrester, and then Glenn Lautson in that number 7 car. He's up to 9, trying to hold a top 10 finish in this second stage. Fastest lap of the show, 31:52. Bailey goes purple for the afternoon. Seth Berger, half a second behind. Kyle Benson works his way into 3rd. Vinny Cortez in 4th, and then John Honeycutt in that 5th position. But Honeycutt has Paul Brigoli right up his tailpipes, Brigoli right up alongside the wall, and Chris Hacker looking to go to the inside in that CHM Supra. Hacker to the inside, he's up to 6th. Honeycutt next on the back end of that top 5. Forrester and the incorrectly painted Jonathan Cuevas being scored as the 86, wrongly painted as the 39 on the outside, sitting in the 8th position, trying to hold on to his top 10 spot. Glenn Lautson holds on to 10. Jeff Noe sits behind him. Chris Bishop eagerly awaits in 12th. Then Dylan Freibel, now he sits in 13th place, being scored 1 ahead of Tom Sears, which is... Oh, no, there is Dylan Freibel. I apologize. Tom Sears is in... There he is, sitting in 14th. I confused that 19 of Tom Sears in the 14th position with this 19 of Armani Williams. Again, incorrectly painted. Williams being scored as the 17 car in the 21st position. 6 laps down. Six laps to go in this second stage. Tristan Bailey leading Seth Berger by only 0.3. Kyle Benson sitting in third. He's a quarter of a second ahead of Vinny Cortez. Colin Forrester now on the inside line. Closest fight so far within this top 10. John Honeycutt barely staying ahead, and now John Cuevas looks to the inside of Forrester in his 86. Jeff No, middle of the lane. Paul Brigoli keeping Jeff No from going down to the bottom. More Than a Cape in the chat says, Tristan, 5 laps told me end of stage 2. Can anyone get up to Bailey to win a custom set of sim racing gloves? Tristan Bailey winning those sim racing gloves by winning stage number 1. Seth Berger sits in second, closest to that stage win. Behind them now, Colin Forrester down to that inside line, trying to get around Cuevas. He does so, and that 8 car, well, painted as the 8, what should be the 9, that 9 car of Colin Forrester sticks in 6th. Chris Hacker up 11 places from where he started. He's in the 5th position with a 1.3 second advantage of Forrester. Here goes Benson now on the outside of Cortez. This is the fight for 3rd with 2.5 to go in stage 2. Benson behind Cortez, trying to get a good run off that 4th corner, right to his bumper, and he hits the crossover. Cortez cuts him off, leading down the front straight. Benson all over the back bumper of Cortez into 1. Benson now rocking the high side, almost up into the 3rd lane. Cortez leaving half a lane back down to the line in turn 2. Floats back up, lists lazily to the right ahead of Kyle Benson, fighting off every attack into 3. Benson trying to set up another crossover in 4, but will he have the time? 2 to go in the 2nd stage. Bit of drama there, but Cortez holds it. Seth Berger now trying to get up to Tristan Bailey. 0.3 the difference, coming to the white flag in this 2nd stage. Chris Hacker right up alongside of that wall. No competition there. Colin Forrester chasing him down, but he won't have enough time. Meanwhile, Jonathan Cuevas in the incorrectly painted 39, trying to chase down Paul Brigoli for the 8th position. Brigoli in his correctly painted number 12, Exalta Chevy, holding on to that 8th spot there. Further on back, Glenn Lauson and Chris Bishop fighting for position there. Lauson slow on the inside, Bishop to the outside. Chris Bishop trying to get one more charge, and he won't, as the stage ends with Tristan Bailey, your stage winner. Seth Berger in 2nd in the number 77 Berg Art Chevy. Vinny Cortez coming home in 3rd in that 2nd stage. And when we come back after this 2-minute break, it's going to be the final 80 laps of racing from virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're watching TJ's Team 250 on Rick James TV. Ready to start the third and final stanza of this charity poem. The TJ's Team 250 benefiting More Than a Cape.org, helping children in their fight against pediatric cancer. That's More Than a Cape.org. Log on to the website, learn about TJ's team, learn about TJ's story, and find out how you can be more than a cape to these heroes in their fight against pediatric cancer. Getting ready to go racing, Tristan Bailey to the inside of Jonathan Cuevas. Green flag is out. Two by two, 2 rows deep, now 3 wide for the second spot. That's Kyle Benson to the inside, and he's number 10. Sanity prevails, but the incorrectly painted Cuevas is in the outside wall straight away from that restart, and that car goes from bad to worse with a severely damaged back end. Now on the right-hand side, getting scraped up. Gives up the spot to Glenn Lawson, who's up 14 places, and Chris Bishop now takes 8. Here comes Jeff No for 9. No on that inside line, 3 wide, and Cuevas has to check up. But behind Cuevas is John Honeycutt, who's trying to get into the top 10. Cuevas holding the door wide open for car number 50, and Chris Hacker wants a piece of this action as well. Up front, Jeff No tries to hold off Honeycutt, but JH, John Honeycutt, is on that march. He's looking to take 9th from No. Tristan Bailey now fighting with Kyle Benson for first. Colin Forrester joins the fight, single file, all tightly pressed behind each other. Benson to the inside for the lead. Benson has that inside line. He's taken it away from the 88, where we haven't seen Bailey forced to race, and this could be the Achilles heel showing itself. Bailey now has to adapt, and he has to cope with no room to run. Forrester trying to go high. Benson looking to make it stick low. Out of that second corner, Kyle Benson clears Tristan Bailey. He's your new leader at Atlanta. Forrester now to the inside in his mal-painted number 9 True Pros Chevrolet. The Teamer Designs number 10 single-handedly holds on to the lead. He leads lap 89. Still 74 laps remaining from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. If you've recently tuned in, I'm Rick James. This is the TJ's Team 250 from virtual Atlanta. Kyle Benson, Colin Forrester, and Tristan Bailey. Your top 3 with Seth Berger in that 4th position. Vincent Cortez sitting in 5th. Jeff No sitting in 9th, up 10 places from his 19th place starting position. Chris Bishop just behind him by 0.3 of a second. Dylan Friday running in the 13th position now, chasing down John Cuevas. Cuevas has been on a downslide since he tagged that wall. Tom Sears with no front end in his correctly painted number 19. He's now being overtaken by Armani Williams in the incorrectly painted 19. Williams being scored as the 17 car, sits just ahead of the 8 of Joe McAdory. McAdory 2 laps ahead of Armani Williams, being 9 laps down himself. Here's the last car on the lead lap in the 14th position. He's just 0.6 behind Dylan Freibel, who's on the back end of Jonathan Cuevas. Further up, Colin Forrester now gets around Kyle Benson. He becomes new leader, but Benson does not take that lightly. To the inside, working the crossover, Kyle Benson practicing these moves against Vincent Cortez in stage number 2. Now moves himself into the lead, but he can't make it stick. Forrester, with the momentum and speed out of 2, has the advantage into turn 3. We'll see how Benson reacts. He tucks in line behind car number 9, and Colin Forrester takes the lead at Atlanta. Freibel now to the inside of Cuevas, this for the 12th position. Tom Sears now looking to take Jonathan Cuevas' position as well. But he finds himself 1.5 seconds behind car 39, being scored as car 86. John Honeycutt's in 8th now. He's 0.2 of a second ahead of Jeff No in the Q pit cooler, what's called the Real Q pit cooler. No idea what that is, something barbecue related, but I know it's based in Lexington. So shout out to Jeff No and his pit cooling people. What the hell does that mean? Real Q pit cooled. I don't know. We'll have to ask him later. But anyway, Colin Forrester's leading this race by just a 10th over Kyle Benson. Tristan Bailey, is he saving tires? This is the first time all race long we've seen that 88 car just content to sit in traffic. Bailey has Seth Berger creeping up by 0.4 of a second. Tristan winning the first 2 stages now, so the only thing that's left for him to do is go on and drive for that cycle. Inside the final 70 laps at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Colin Forrester, Kyle Benson, Tristan Bailey all nose to tail. Vincent Cortez trying to get a whiff of that top 3. Once again, Seth Berger sitting in his way. Let's go along for a ride with the driver of the number 23. You're watching Atlanta from Vincent Cortez's point of view. Cortez works his way up to that 4th position there. Ahead of Berger by just a 1/10 of a second. Perhaps Berger is also on the conservation train. You can see the top 3 very tightly wound together. The 9 car of Colin Forrester has to dart to that inside there. Forrester bouncing off the white line right into Benson's racing line. Here comes Bailey to the inside of car number 9. It opens the door for car 88. Cortez on a run to the inside of Kyle Benson as Tristan Bailey takes the advantageous moment, and he will get to the inside and take the lead away from Tristan Bailey. Let's go back and see what happened to the 9 of Forrester. The incorrectly painted number 9 of Forrester showing the 8 on the side. This was a lap prior. We'll see what exactly caused Forrester to lose that spot. This is Forrester in the lead now, ahead of Benson. See if there's any contact from Benson in that 10 car. No, also the lap prior there, but no contact to Forrester. Forrester stays in the line, but we catch Kyle Benson just as he falls out of line there. Top 5, single file, and welcome Paul Brigoli into the mix. The number 12 Exalta Chevy says, I want to play too. 100 laps now complete at the Atlanta Motor Speedway with 63 circuits remaining. Berger now to the inside of Benson. This for 4th. Forrester on the back end of Tristan Bailey. He's now on the outside of Vinny Cortez. This the battle for 2nd. Bailey loving all of this behind him. 2x2, 2 rows deep as 2nd and 3rd almost touch into turn number 3. Cortez has Berger behind him. Berger slides up into that middle lane while Cortez uses the white line to his advantage, but Colin Forrester is shot out of a cannon from that 4th corner. And the Dale Jr. livery number 9 car holds 2nd. 23 of Cortez up to that high line, really hanging the tail out, and he holds on to that race car. Meanwhile, the 10 of Kyle Benson being hounded by Paul Bergoli, this for that 5th spot. And you got to give it up to get the Glenn Lauzon in that number 7 Discount Tire Ford. Glenn not been making the most noise today, but he has been showing the most life. Glenn's made up 14 places from where he started in 21st. He's up to the 7th position. It'll be 60 laps to go this time by. Chris Hacker is in. Jonathan Cuevas also coming down pit road. Hacker's on his way out. Cuevas on his way in. This could be the penultimate pit stop for these drivers. Berger behind Cortez by 0.2 of a second. You just saw Ontario driver Matthew Hall make his way down pit road. Is Matt making his penultimate or possibly final pit stop with 59 laps remaining? Drivers last pitting on lap 81. They'll be able to go approximately 40 laps, and there's one car that's loose. Is that Benson? It is Kyle Benson. Gets loose off that second corner, nails that wall, but only one car involved will stay caution-free. Kyle Benson, driving a brilliant race, finally succumbs to his own, and he'll have to get that race car repaired and hope that a yellow saves him. Out of turn number 2, this is the fight for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th between the 9 of Colin Forrester, the 23 of Vincent Cortez, and the 77 of Seth Berger, with Paul Bergoli eagerly awaiting in that distance. Further on, Jeff No now chasing down John Honeycutt for position. Over the last 5 laps, you can see John Honeycutt slower for 3 of them. 1/10 and change was the gap last time. Now on lap 105, Honeycutt slower by another 10th still, so No turning the screw. He's within 3/10 to that 50 car, and he can smell the fumes coming out of the tailpipes now, right along with Jeff No as he chases down John Honeycutt for 7th. At the front, Tristan Bailey not able to run away with this one. Forrester won't let him, and Vincent Cortez enjoying the wake from that number 9 car. With Seth Berger patiently watching in the distance, Jeff No gets closer to John Honeycutt. Glenn Lauzon up into the 6th position now. Behind him, Honeycutt trying to weave and break the draft ahead of Jeff No. Chris Bishop is only 7/10 off of this fight. Tom Sears, the Massachusetts native, is down pit road, possibly making his final pit stop of the evening. Is Bailey letting up 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, starting to get bunched up behind him. 23 of Vincent Cortez now behind the 9 of Forrester. Cortez in the 23, Berger in that 77. They say they're teammates, they're working together. Are they just biding their time? Here comes Cortez to the inside of Forrester. Does he have a run? Won't be enough. 110 laps now underway at Atlanta. Jeff No's finally there to the inside of John Honeycutt. Undercuts into one. Honeycutt way on the high side, giving Jeff No all the room he needs. But he can't make it stick. John Honeycutt using that momentum to stay ahead in that 7th position. Beautifully done by the driver of the 50. We'll see what No has planned. Running that middle lane, will he bounce off the low lane and get a launch down that front straight? Both of these drivers side by side at the line, separated by 2 100ths. in the chat, Suave555 says, get him Bailey. Cheering for that double eight of Tristan Bailey. He still has an advantage over Colin Forrester, and although it may look slim as Jeff No and John Honeycutt swap spots out of turn number 2, it is nothing but. Bailey, Forrester, Cortez, top 3, Seth Berger in that 4th position. 112 laps underway. We're going to have 51 to go. Next time by, these drivers last pitting on lap 81. So they should have probably about another 10 to 20 laps left in this green flag run, and then they'll make their final stops of the day. Obviously, we're here to benefit TJ's team and More Than a Cape in their fight against pediatric cancer, but these drivers are fighting for a championship belt. Believe it or not, that's going to be something. That's going to be. I'd want to fight for that too, honestly. It's a pretty cool prize. This white leather belt with like bronze medallions on it and the race logo. It's pretty cool. You can see it on the Twitch, on my Twitch, or you can see it at the TJ's team Twitch, or Twitter, excuse me. Listen to me. You can see it on Rick James TV Twitter or the TJ's team Twitter. Get a great shot at this championship belt. So the top 4 staying cozy, all tucked together, and it seems like that's what all these drivers are doing now. They know the formula, so they're just going to ride around patiently over these final laps before the pit stop cycle begins. Tristan Bailey, Colin Forrester, and Vincent Cortez still your top 3, with Seth Berger on the tail end of this train. Berger looking for clean air to the inside of Cortez. Berger won't make the move, and it's now looking like plate racing here in the final 49 laps at Atlanta. To find some drivers that are actually racing, we've got to go all the way back to Jeff No and John Honeycutt. Matt Hall starting to close that gap despite the fact that Hall is in 13th, 4 laps down. He's still working his hardest, and he said he's here to have fun. And I hope he's having a really fun time. He's chasing down John Honeycutt just to make up some time, hopefully get an advantage if another yellow comes out. Hall's best lap is a 31.65, which puts him, I believe, 4th or 5th as far as fastest laps go this race. Suave555 says if you're watching this and missing the playoff game, Packers 7, 49ers 0, complete dogfight. Suave, what quarter are they in, buddy? Give me some details on that. I'm definitely interested in that one. We still have more than 45 laps to go. The top 4 have not changed, just content to putter around, waiting, as it were. The 77 of Seth Berger again looking for clean air. Just single file here. Same with Paul Bergoli. Glenn Lauzon, nothing to do for him. John Honeycutt trying to chase down Jeff No. No's 2 seconds behind Glenn Lauzon in that 6th position. John Honeycutt now trying to follow No. They're going around Matt Hall in that 34 car. Hall wants to get to the inside of Honeycutt. Again, not for position. He's got him. Matt Hall now looking to the inside of the 6 car. Jeff No. Holding on to 7th. Jonathan Cuevas to the inside of Chris Hacker, who's gotten into the wall. Something's wrong with car 13. Chris Hacker in these waning stages of the race. Slow through turn 2. Matt Hall 1.5 minutes off of Chris Hacker, so there's certainly a few laps, and Hacker's got plenty of time to figure out what his issue is, but it looks like he's back up to full song. Meanwhile, Jeff No, just 2/10 ahead of John Honeycutt. The leaders still content to run single file, nothing happening there. No and Honeycutt side by side off of that 2nd corner. Honeycutt says he's not done. He's going to tuck in behind the 6 car, wiggling down that back straight, trying to get a good entrance. Don't wreck yourself now, John. John Honeycutt trying to decide to go whether to go with Matt Hall in the 34. to the inside of Jeff Noe in that 6th car. Both of these drivers fighting for the 7th position. Tristan Bailey leading this race still as drivers wait for their fuel to run out, and that's what it looks like now. The top 5 is just in a waiting game. 251 miles, the official distance of this race that will go to 163 laps. Drivers using most of their 5 sets of tires, and of course only getting the 1 fast repair to cope this afternoon. NASCAR been coming here since the early 1960s. It is a wonderful track filled with tradition. Colin Forrester still in 2nd, same with 3rd, same with 4th. 122 laps now completed. If you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James. We're watching these cars, waiting for them as these drivers are waiting to come down pit road. Chris Hacker sitting in that 12th position, now behind Jonathan Cuevas. This the closest battle between any drivers that are interested in fighting for position. Top 4 interested in staying single file. Cuevas now interested in taking down Chris Hacker. This is the battle for 11th. Let's ride around with Hacker, who seems to have gotten his car back under his own control. Let's see how he manages a lap around Atlanta. Hacker wiggling out of that 4th corner. You just saw it there, and you saw the speed take a dip, but Hacker keeps her pointed in the right direction. 4/10 the gap between John Cuevas and Chris Hacker. At the front, Tristan Bailey coming down pit road, and this is the money stop right here. Comes screaming into the pits with Vincent Cortez behind him. Seth Berger, your new leader, as pit stop cycles start. And with this green flag pit stop cycles underway, we're going to switch formats here. We're going to show you the lap times, or the pit times, on the bottom. The ticking number on the left is total pit lane time. The number in the brackets on the right-hand side is pit stop time. Seth Berger now bringing his 77 down pit road. Tristan Bailey being scored in 2nd. Colin Forrester in the incorrectly painted number 9 True Pro Chevy. Now into that 2nd position. He's chasing down Seth Berger, who's decided to come down pit road. Tristan Bailey re-enters the racetrack in 3rd with Vincent Cortez right behind him. We're approaching quickly the final 30 laps of competition. Paul Bergoli still in that 5th position, pitting on lap 123. Seth Berger on his way out. Here comes Colin Forrester, who reassumes that lead. Berger leaving in 2nd. There's Tristan Bailey retaking 2nd place. Spurl 34 says the 8 identifies as a 9. The 8 identifies as a car that's incorrectly painted. Colin Forrester being scored as the 9 car with a paint job that says the 8 on the side. All other cars following that trend John Cuevas being scored as the 86 car in a car that reads car 39. And then you've got the 17 car of Armani Williams mistakenly rocking a paint scheme that says 19 on it. Vincent Cortez correctly painted with the number 23 on the side of his Ford Mustang, chasing down Tristan Bailey. 4/10 the gap between them, and 5 seconds now the difference between Colin Forrester and Tristan Bailey. When Forrester came down pit road, his pit lane time, 43.1 seconds to Tristan Bailey's 44.3. So almost a full second between them, 8/10 really. However, only 3/10 behind their pit stop times total. But Colin Forrester coming out with a 4.7 second gap ahead of Tristan Bailey, approaching the final 34 laps of racing. Cortez 7/10 behind the Stage 1 and Stage 2 winner. Seth Berger 8/10 behind his teammate. Chris Hacker brings his number 13 car down pit road. He's going to give up the 12th position. Dylan Freibel is in 11th. John Cuevas rounding out that top 10. Chris Bishop in 9th, last pitting on lap 125. The only drivers yet to come in, Armani Williams, Jesse Adams, Ryan Richardson, Ryan Huff, all of those drivers being scored out of this race. And that should do it for our pit stop cycles right there. Drivers should be good to go to the end with 30 laps remaining. Tristan Bailey, the chase is on. He's got 4 seconds to make up on Colin Forrester. There you see the difference in lap times. Cars ahead and behind Bailey. Over the last 2 laps, Cortez quicker than Bailey. Bailey over the last 2 laps quicker than race leader Colin Forrester. 31 laps to go next time by, and Tristan Bailey quicker by 5/10 of a second over Colin Forrester. Bailey on that move in a hurry. Forrester entering turn 3. Is he on conservation mode, knowing that he pitted 2 laps earlier than Bailey? And as the old adage goes, it's one thing to pass him, it's quite another to catch him. That last time by, Bailey almost 3/10 quicker than Colin Forrester that last time around. So not consistent, but Bailey is chipping away. He is getting closer, and if it stays green, he should get there within the next 30 laps, but time will tell. 45 miles remains in this 250 miler. For morethan-a-cape.org and TJ's team fighting every day, helping children in their battle against pediatric cancer. Check them out, morethan-a-cape.org. Learn about TJ, learn about the story and the team helping these kids in their fight. Berger of 1/10 of a second between him and his teammate Vincent Cortez in that number 23. The Berg Arts Chevrolet to the inside line. Cortez says not so fast. Vinny wants to hold on to third for the time being. At the back end of the top 10, Dylan Freibel all by himself. Freibel being scored 1 lap down. Chris Bishop in that 42 car. The final car on the lead lap. 9 cars are all that's left on the lead lap, with Bishop being that driver there. He's entering turn 1 now. Colin Forrester on the front straight. And if Forrester with a 3-second gap can get to Bishop, that might be a nice pick for Tristan Bailey to deal with. Bailey now enters turn number 1. 2.5 seconds and counting is all that remains. Seth Berger 1.8 seconds behind. He gets around teammate Vincent Cortez for the 3rd position. These two now going to duke it out for the bronze medal. Jeff No now chasing down Glenn Lauzon. This for 7th. No, up 11 places from where he started. Lauzon up 14 places from where he started. Glenn's had an absolutely brilliant day, and before we close up shop, without giving one more big shout out to Glenn, let's let GL take us for a lap around Atlanta. ...183 miles an hour into the first corner. Lauzon sitting in 7th, Jeff No in 8th. 3/4 of a second are all that separates these two. Seth Berger, however, only 0.2 of a second between himself and teammate Vincent Cortez. Berger now safely gets around the 20 of Dylan Freibel, who had an incident earlier in the first stage that took out himself and Tom Sears. The 7-7 of Berger getting around the 20 of Freibel, pulling away from teammate Cortez. Meanwhile, 2.2 seconds is the gap between Tristan Bailey and Colin Forrester. Inside the final 5 laps now. Forrester, can he hold on? Can he win the TJ's Team 250 and that championship belt? Tristan Bailey chasing him down in second with Seth Berger looking on, 1 second adrift. Berger to the inside of Canadian Matthew Hall, who's sitting in the 12th position now. Matt's nearest rival is Tom Sears, a full lap behind. Matt Hall just needs to nurse this car home, and 12th place is his. But there's Tom Sears right in the distance. Matt Hall gets into the wall. John Cuevas gets to the inside of him, who's a lap ahead. Hall's in the wall again. Here comes Tom Sears looking to take the spot. Sears won't go, though. Sears comes down pit road. He's going to join Chris Hacker, get his final pit stop of the day. Meanwhile, Colin Forrester has a 2.1 second gap ahead of Tristan Bailey. Inside, 2 seconds is the gap between Forrester and Bailey. Cortez trying to stay on to the tail end of Seth Berger, but he's starting to peel away. 0.6 of a second is the gap now. Matt Hall also joins pit road to get his car fixed. Matt Hall, Tom Sears, Chris Hacker running 12th, 13th, and 14th, all down pit road. John Cuevas now chasing down Bill Freibel. Chris Bishop, 7 seconds behind Jeff No, who's been trying to get up to Glenn Lauzon, but what was an 0.8 of a second gap is now extended to 1.4 seconds. Shout out Glenn for putting the hammer down and keeping that discount tire forward in 7th. Incredible drive by him so far. Still remains our hard charger with a 14 position gain since the green flag. John Honeycutt in that 6th position, 1.5 seconds behind Paul Bergoli, and over the last 5 laps, Honeycutt just completing lap 144. You can see he's been reeling in Bergoli slowly but surely. 1.6 seconds is the gap at the front. 1.4 seconds is the gap here. John Honeycutt quicker by 1/10 of a second. Last lap, we'll see what the time says this time around. But Paul Bergoli in that number 12 Exalta Chevrolet, now completing lap 145. with 17 circuits remaining. Honeycutt quicker by 2/10, almost 3/10 the advantage. And Honeycutt looking to reel in Paul Brigoli for that 5th position at the front. Colin Forrester, 1.4 seconds ahead of Tristan Bailey. Has Forrester been saving tires? Has Bailey been caning it? Over the last 5 laps, Tristan Bailey quicker for every single one. And he's been quicker than Seth Berger as well, despite the fact Berger has been reeling in. Actually, no, Berger's been quicker than Bailey. Look at this. Except for that last lap. This is going to be an incredible finish to the end. This is going to be so much fun to watch. 1.4 seconds, still the gap. And it looks like Bailey has just been consistently slowing his attack, almost taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, welcoming Seth Berger into the fold to try and have someone else to help fight against Colin Forrester. But as the laps tick down, the drivers get closer to their goal. That's all that remains between Colin Forrester and Tristan Bailey. 250 miles of racing will come down to the final 15 circuits at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. As Matt Hall pointed out when we spoke to him earlier, it's going to be a battle of tires, and we'll see who's got the freshest rubber at the end of this race. Not a bad run for Hall. He's in the 12th position, despite the fact that he's 5 laps down. Got caught up in a couple of messes here, but he'll have a solid top 15 to speak of at the end of the night. Forrester, watching the 8.8 of Bailey get larger and larger in his mirror. Bailey watching Forrester get larger as well. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time by. Tristan Bailey winning stage 1 and stage 2. Does he have a chance to get to Colin Forrester and take the win away? Seth Berger, 0.2 of a second behind Tristan Bailey. 1 second the gap now. John Honeycutt has caught Paul Brigoli also. The same gap between Brigoli and Honeycutt is the same gap between Bailey and Berger. There goes Honeycutt now to the inside of Brigoli. This for 5th. And Bailey trying to hold off Seth Berger. There's Brigoli who's into the wall. He's going to make it easy for John Honeycutt, and Paul Brigoli gave just a little too much room to Honeycutt, who gets super loose off of that corner, and Brigoli's not finished. There's Berger all over the back end of Bailey. 9/10 is the gap between Forrester and Bailey, and is Berger going to give Colin Forrester the break he needs? There's Berger now working to the inside of Tristan Bailey. John Honeycutt doesn't have to worry about Paul Brigoli anymore. Brigoli now looks to the inside line. Will Honeycutt be stable out of 2? He will. Brigoli now in the draft. Here comes Seth Berger to the inside of Tristan Bailey. 11 laps to go at Atlanta. Berger can't make it stick. Bailey still 1 second away. Vinny Cortez, 0.6 behind Seth Berger with Matt Hall to his outside. Paul Brigoli 0.5 second behind John Honeycutt in his fight for 5th. Riding along with Seth Berger now. Berger to that inside line, just can't make it stick, but the very quick Matthew Hall is there. Hall again just racing for fun, but he's on the outside lane now, adding a bit of an element to this fight for the 2nd position. 9 at the line, and Colin Forrester still has a 9/10 of a second gap back to Tristan Bailey. Seth Berger trying to chase down car 88, while the 3-4 of Matt Hall has entered the playing field. Hall squeezing between the 7-7 and the 8-8. Possibly some respite for Tristan Bailey. He's trying to hold on to second, and the gap between him and Seth Berger expands to 4/10. Meanwhile, 8 laps to go. Tristan Bailey, 0.8 of a second gap. By the latest trend, Tristan Bailey will be there on the white flag lap, but it's almost as Bailey has caught a whiff of that draft now. Seth Berger back up to Tristan Bailey. Matt Hall to the inside, removes himself from this backstretch equation. Matt Hall now taking the inside line away from Tristan Bailey. That's going to allow Seth Berger to catch up. 0.8, still the gap. 7 laps to go, and the TJ's Team Championship belt on the line. Forrester leads. Bailey, who's won the first 2 stages, daring himself to go just a bit further now, chasing down Matt Hall, getting a good draft from that 34 iRacing Supra into turn 3. 0.6 of a second, expanding to 0.7 now. Bailey really on it. 6 laps to go at the line, and Bailey will use the help from Matt Hall to get a tow down the front straight, get within 0.7 of a second, but he can't forget about Seth Berger, who's now reeled into second place by a quarter of a second. 5 to go, this time by. Colin Forrester leading this race. Spurl 34 says Hall needs to get out of the way. This is ridiculous. Matt Hall at times quicker than Tristan Bailey. Hall aiding Bailey in his tow down the front straight. The gap inside 0.7 now. Bailey trying to hold off Seth Berger for the 7th position. Bailey loose out of 2, and there goes Tristan Bailey. His race is done. Bailey's into the wall, almost gets into Matt Hall. Tristan Bailey struggling to hold the race car together, keeps it pushing. Now as Vincent Cortez to his inside, Tristan Bailey desperately looking to hold on to this one. Loose out of 4 again. There goes Bailey, makes contact with the wall. Tristan Bailey's race for the win effectively tarnished by just getting into the turn 2 wall, and it goes up in sheet metal and smoke for the driver of the 88. The tires gave out just when he needed them. There goes Bailey again, and you can see those Goodyears just have nothing left, and what was an incredible fight. Winning stage 1, winning stage 2 will come to the checkered flag. Well, 3 laps to go now, but he will collect a checkered flag not in any position he was looking forward to. The 86 of Cuevas, you saw it coming a mile away, slamming that wall, and the incorrectly painted number 39 CMR Roofing Chevy will end this one in 11th. Seth Berger's not done. 2 laps to go. Berger now within 0.7. Has he saved his tires to where he needs them to be? Tristan Bailey jumps to pit road after crashing over the last 5 laps. Seth Berger consistently quicker than Colin Forrester. He's got 3 miles to make up 0.6 of a second. Vinny Cortez, 1.8 seconds behind these two. He's out of the equation. There you see Cortez with a drift of his own, and he keeps that one moving as well. White flag in the air, this time by Seth Berger. Looks like he's making up time, but it might not be quick enough. Colin Forrester with 1.5 more miles to go, despite the incorrectly painted race car. Forrester looking to take his number 9 True Pro Chevy Camaro to victory in the TJ's Team 250. Berger within a half second now. He's got a smell of the draft down the back straight. Colin Forrester just needs to hold his race car in one more piece. 250 miles to benefit more than a Cape.org will culminate in a win for Colin Forrester. He gets the W at Atlanta. Colin Forrester with the win. Seth Berger with an excellent second place finish. Forrester doing a big trip down that front straight and in turn number 1. Great win for Colin Forrester. Seth Berger gets second. Vincent Cortez coming home in third. We're going to have a talk with our podium in just a moment. And that sweet white leather championship belt goes to car number 9 with that special Dale Earnhardt Jr.-ish livery. Colin Forrester, winner at Atlanta. Fans in the chat cheering for Colin Forrester. Arizona Blue says he's out of gas. High Octane Autosport saying great run by Berger and Cortez too. He says congrats, Colin Forrester. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 interviews in just a moment. On the podium now with our top 3, Vincent Cortez in the number 23 Ford Mustang scores a 3rd place finish tonight. Vin, great run for you in that unmarked 23. Did you have anything for Seth at the end?
Yeah, I appreciate that, but I don't think I really did. There was a little bit of confusion with lap traffic trying to pass us. I mean, it kind of ultimately put me in a bad spot. It kind of was like the nail in the final coffin with the tires there at the end, but it's just kind of unfortunate.
Still a great run for you in that 2-3 car. Where do you take your talents now, Vin? Where do you normally race?
I raced the SRN series. It's kind of a redemption because I ended up losing the championship with messing up the pit road entry, and it was kind of nice actually doing pit road right, but sucks. Wish I could have got that win.
We'll see you around, Vinny. You didn't get the win, but you still got a great 3rd place finish. We'll see you for the next big charity event. Congratulations, my friend.
Hey man, thank you.
Tonight's silver medalist rocking the number 77 Berg Arts Chevy Camaro, Seth Berger, getting that silver medal tonight. Seth, half a second was all that sat between you and Colin Forrester, and the way it looked, if you had another 5 laps, you could have got him. Seth, Rick James, you got me? And no audio from Seth Berger. Let's try one more time here. Give me just a second. Could be me.
Rick, I think we lost him.
Oh, we lost Seth. That's not Seth. Check yourself, buddy. You might be muted or something.
Hello?
Hey, all right. 5th time's the charm, Seth. Great second place run there. Only 47 100ths is all that sat between you and Colin Forrester, effectively half a second. What else could you have done to catch the 9 car at the end?
Oh, man, I really don't know. I was trying to save tire after that last pit stop, trying to save tire, but still go as fast as possible, and that's impressive what Colin was able to do there. I honestly did not think he had a chance when he pit a few laps earlier than us, and saved enough tire to hold us off. He knew what he was doing. I really wish me and Tristan were able to get up there. Unfortunately, running into some more traffic that might have cost us that split second time to get a shot at that win. But overall, great job by Colin. Catching him is one thing, passing him is a totally another thing. He did a great job.
Where can your fans, I would say, Seth, normally find you racing around the leagues?
I race Speed Racing Network with Vinny. I was running the A series, but I am now his teammate in the B series car. I also run the Outlaw series on Wednesdays. Yeah, so those two series. SRN on, I believe I'm running Thursdays, and Wednesdays for Outlaws.
We'll catch you Wednesdays and Thursdays with Outlaws and SRN. Congratulations on the second place finish, Seth.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Before we get to our race winner, we've got to talk about the good folks over at TJ's team and morethanAcape.org. Glenn Scope saying, thanks for broadcasting. It was an absolute labor of love and my pleasure. Get on to morethanAcape.org. Learn about this wonderful, wonderful mascot that we've got called TJ, a great child who really, we honor his memory. With the folks at TJ's team and More Than a Cape, helping families and children in their fight against pediatric cancer. Never an easy fight, but they're never alone. With our help, log on to morethanAcape.org and see how you can be more than just a cape for these heroes fighting against pediatric cancer every single day. And now our race winner. In that number 9 True Pro Chevrolet with the mistaken number 8 on the side. Despite the mistake, he's got that win anyway. Colin Forrester, Tristan Bailey was approaching with a head full of steam, and when he got into the wall out of turn number 2 with 5 laps to go, did you think that was the race done and dusted?
Yeah, definitely. Like one of the people were saying earlier, definitely one thing catching me, one thing to pass me. I know me and Vinta were running behind Tristan there early in the race. It was super hard to pass. It's just super hard to pass here. Top line's pretty dominant all the way around, and just you'll use your stuff up if you try and pass on the inside. But just super fun race overall, and had a blast.
That's what's important, is that you had fun and it was for a great cause. Colin Forrester, you're going to earn some fans tonight with that drive. Where can your new fans see you racing?
I race in the 4-wide series. We race Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesday nights are the ARCA cars and I racing, and Wednesday nights we are moving to the Gen 7 cars or the next gen cars, whatever you want to call them. And it's a super fun league. I have fun every time we race in there.
We'll see you Wednesdays and Thursdays, Colin. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on that white leather championship belt with the bronze TJ team medallions. You keep that for an entire year. You've won the TJ's team 250. Congratulations, Colin.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Fans at home, that's going to do it for us tonight. An unbelievable fun night of racing. My esteemed thanks to Travis Anderson, to Joyce in the chat, Stout Whiskey, High Octane Autosports, Spurl, Suave, everybody else that came through showing love. Thank you so much. We can't do these races without you, and we appreciate you. Drop me a DM and let me know what we can do to improve your viewing experience. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all